You know that moment, right? You're grabbing your keys, you've got your coffee, and you catch a glimpse of them, your cat, just sitting there, maybe on the back of the couch. Their eyes tracking every single move you make. And as you shut that door behind you, there's always that one question that kind of haunts you all day.
It's the question every single cat owner on the planet has asked themselves. Are we really their whole world? Or are we just, a convenient food dispenser with really useful thumbs? For years, we've been told to believe one thing, but it turns out the actual science tells a completely different story.
For decades, the story's been pretty simple, right? Cats are aloof. They're these emotionally detached loners who, let's be honest, would probably forget all about us in a week if someone else came along and filled their food bowl. We've all heard it, we've all kind of accepted it.
But what if I told you that everything we've been led to believe is only, half the story? What if this whole myth of the aloof, independent cat is just that, a myth? Well, the latest science is painting a picture that's way more complex, and frankly, a lot more beautiful. It shows us that cats actually form secure attachments, they create these really deep bonds, and they communicate their feelings in a language that we're only just now starting to figure out.
And look, this isn't just wishful thinking from people who really, really love their cats. We're talking about recent, groundbreaking research that has completely shattered our old assumptions. So let's get into the evidence that changed, well, everything.
The real game changer came in 2019 from a landmark study out of Oregon State University. See, researchers decided to stop guessing and to actually scientifically test the bond between cats and their owners. And what they found? Well, it was absolutely stunning.
64.3%. Let that number sink in for a second. That's the percentage that turned everything we thought we knew on its head. Nearly 2/3 of the cats they tested showed clear, measurable signs of a secure attachment to their humans. And to give you some perspective, that is a level of bonding that's on par with what we see in human children, and, even in dogs.
So how on earth did they measure something like that? They used a method called the secure base test. Basically, they put a cat in a new, unfamiliar room. Now, if their owner is there, a securely attached cat feels confident and they start to explore. They use their human as a kind of home base. But when the owner leaves, they get a little distressed, and when the owner comes back, they're all about that reunion. They're actively using their person as a source of comfort. The takeaway here is that this bond, it's real, and it is measurable.
But here's the absolute key, and this is what trips most of us up. A 2015 study from the University of Lincoln found that cats just don't show separation anxiety the way dogs do. You're not going to see them whining at the door or chewing up the furniture. Their emotional response is on a completely different frequency. It's way, way more subtle. They feel it for sure. They just don't shout it from the rooftop.
So if they're not obvious about it, how in the world do they show they miss us? Well, it turns out they have this whole silent language they use. So let's decode the 7 key signals that prove your cat is absolutely telling you, hey, I missed you.
Okay, signal number 1, strategic positioning. You know when your cat is sitting by the window that overlooks the driveway? That's not random. They're on surveillance. They're literally organizing their afternoon around your potential return. Signal number 2 is their unique vocabulary. Research shows cats develop these specific little meows and trills just for their favorite humans. It's a private language they invented just to talk to you. And number 3, scent transfer. When they rub all over you after you get home, they're not just marking you, they're reapplying your scent to themselves and reestablishing that group scent. It's all about reinforcing the bond.
Signal 4 is a really big one. Appetite changes. A lot of cats actually eat less when their owners are away. And it's not because they're not hungry, it's because the comfort of your presence, which is part of their mealtime routine, is missing. And then there's signal 5, the slow blink. A 2020 study confirmed what a lot of us already suspected. This is the feline equivalent of a kiss or saying I love you. And you'll see it a lot more in those reunion moments right after you walk in the door. It's their way of saying, your presence brings me peace.
And the last 2 signals are all about reconnecting and getting close again. Becoming your shadow. You know this one. It's when they follow you from room to room after you've been gone all day. They're just recalibrating their sense of security. And finally, you've got the intense head bunt. When they press their forehead against you, and I mean really press, they're using scent glance that basically scream, we belong together, we're a team again.
Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, my cat doesn't do any of those things. And that brings us to a really important point. Just because a cat seems indifferent, it doesn't mean there's an absence of feeling. Attachment is a huge spectrum, and it's influenced by everything from their breed to what their early life was like. You just have to learn to speak your specific cat's dialect.
So we know they're attached, and we know how they show it.
But what is actually going on inside their heads when we leave? Let's get a little nerdy and go deeper. Let's look at the actual neurological and chemical reasons for their bond with us.
First up, let's talk about their memory. It is extraordinary. Studies have shown feline memory lasting for at least 16 hours, but a lot of researchers think it extends for years. So when you leave, you don't just disappear from their reality. You exist as a memory, as an expectation, as an absence they can actually feel. They remember your voice, your smell, your whole routine.
And get this, we can literally see this in their brains. Neuroimaging studies show that when a cat hears its owner's voice, specific parts of the brain light up, the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, which are tied to emotion and memory. So their brain doesn't just register a sound, it processes my person, an individual who is deeply emotionally significant to them. So what about time? Do they know if you've been gone for 10 minutes or 10 hours? Well, yes and no. Cats don't count the hours on a clock like we do. They feel time through patterns, through rhythms and routines. They have something called episodic-like memories. They remember you left, and they form an expectation about when you'll be back based on past experience. So when you're late, their expectation is violated. Oh yeah, they notice. And finally, there's the actual chemistry. When you pet your cat, something amazing happens. Oxytocin, which you've probably heard of as the love hormone or the bonding hormone, rises in both of you. You are creating a literal biochemical bond. Now, the research is clear that this response is generally a little less intense than what you see in dogs, but it is undeniable physiological proof of attachment. And when you're gone, that little feedback loop gets interrupted.
Okay, so the bond is real, it's scientific, and it's profound. So now for the most important part, what can we actually do about it? How can we make our time away easier for them? How do we honor this incredible connection we have? Here are 5 simple, evidence-based strategies. 1. Create predictable rituals. Keep your goodbyes calm, brief, and consistent. Long, emotional goodbyes actually make it worse. 2. Enrich their environment. Things like cat trees and food puzzles give them a job to do while you're gone. 3. Leave an unwashed t-shirt or something behind. Your scent is scientifically proven to be comforting. 4. Carefully, and I mean carefully, consider a companion, but only if your cat's personality is right for it. And 5. Maintain a solid routine. For a cat, consistency equals security. And here is probably the most important takeaway of all. The goal isn't to make them stop missing you. That attachment is a beautiful, precious thing. The goal is to help them feel secure and to help them cope while you're away. You're not trying to erase their feelings. You're just supporting them through your absence. So after all of this, the question really isn't if your cat misses you, but how. I want you to go home and just watch. Pay attention. Is it that slow blink when you walk in? Is it the way they wait by the door around 5 p.m.? Or maybe it's that special little meow they only use for you. Now that you know their language, what is your cat's unique way of saying, "I am so glad you're home"?
Before you go, remember this. Your cat is doing something right now that most owners completely miss. At Feline Frontier, we don't just share cute cat facts. We uncover the hidden meanings, the quiet signals, and the strange behaviors your cat uses every single day to communicate with you. From the sounds that instantly calm a stressed cat, to the tiny habits that prove they trust you, to the mistakes that silently hurt them more than you realize. Everything here is designed to help you understand your cat on a deeper level. So if you've ever looked at your cat and thought, "What are you really trying to tell me?" You're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe to Feline Frontier, because the next video might explain something your cat has been waiting years for you to understand. See you in the next frontier of feline truth.